thing that I really want to point out with it, like someone brings up a great point. The thing is, a lot of people assume certain things are someone else's job. Like there's someone else's job to do that. Like I shouldn't have to kill this cloak and dagger that's at 50 health. That's the DPS's job to do that. I shouldn't have to appeal for this when he's at 100 health. That's someone else's job. That's like the wrong concept, I feel like, me personally, because it shouldn't matter what role you're on. If you have aim or you can hit someone and they're weak, you should do it. Like, or if they're like overextended, which means they're past the point where their healers can heal them, or they're in a position where they just should die, everyone should kill them. Like, it's not just one person's job. Everyone should put in. So that's what I mean by target priority. That's one version of it. And another version of it is something that I wanted to mention based off of the customs we went through. But like for example, one thing, there was a Thor there was a champion Thor, and bro was giving out belt. And yeah, it was his first day there. Bro came swinging on his first day out. This is a fact. Just in the factor of like, I just feel like from a whole team perspective, not enough people treated him like the level of threat that he was. You know, like if he comes around and he's swinging at your healers and gets them out in 5 seconds, a DPS shooting at the healers in the back that can heal themselves for 10 seconds is not going to help the team. You know, like he's right there, and shooting at him needs to help get him out of there. Like if he's actually getting value, he has to be dealt with. That's what I mean by target priority. I'm about to go live in a second too. I think Suave just went live. I'm about to go live in a second.
I can't believe
Yeah.
the Ben is finna press the live button.
Let's
Press it
go.
on Monday too, Suave. Dang.
Luna is
Press
4
it
and 2.
again.
Let's
And
go
our
over
White
to the
Fox is
coaching
2 and 2.
to the coaching calls Discord. Or just let's move everybody over there. Yo, yo, yo. We are so back. Zabe, welcome. Go ahead and get sound properly. Coaching calls, W. Yeah. Ben?
Yo, I'm here now.
Cool. Yeah, just checking. Audio's going through, fine. Alright, cool. Nice. Alright, I'm just getting, making sure everything looks alright over here on my end.
Yeah. I'm going to share my game too, so I got that up.
Can you share your screen? Maybe? I mean, I could... I think if I share it on Discord, it's probably gonna create an issue with my stream. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, if I share mine too, it's causing it too.
You see your bitrate drop? Shoot, I can do it if anything. I don't mind.
It's looking like either stream or wait, hold on, let me see. Yeah, it's either stream or show the screen. It's not working. Wait, if I decrease it though, what about that?
You can, yeah, decrease the stream quality. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, we're just trying to get everything set up here to share screen. In the meantime, yeah, today we're gonna focus on target prioritization. I think that's something everybody could honestly keep improving on. And besides that, we'll go over some videos from customs. We can do one game, And I know Zavi has a game she wanted to bring up. I think we should spend most of our time reviewing these VODs because it's gonna take a while to get through the game, so we should try to briefly go over what it means, what the lesson is, and get into the videos. And then we can just all play together. We can 6-stack and try to focus heavily on coaching while we play and calling stuff out. Here, Ben, stop sharing your screen real quick. Maybe I can share and then see how that looks. Let me see my stream quality. I'm gonna drop it to 30 frames, 1080p. Alright. Let me say what that does for my Twitch. So far, so good. Alright. Ben, let me know when you want to get started, bro.
I'm ready now, gang. Ready now.
Right now I just got pulled up like some of our customs matches here. I don't really know which one. I mean, I don't think it matters for now. For now, we could just vibe. I'm trying to think of. Does anybody have any concerns, questions when it comes to target prioritization? Is there like a common struggle, maybe? Is there anything you guys feel like maybe you get lost in the sauce? You don't know who should be your priority? And that goes for any role. You guys can wave your hand if you want to speak. Doesn't seem like anybody has any concerns. I guess we could talk about. I mean, I could start with strategists. I say if we're talking about strategists, when it comes to your priorities, of course, your priority is your teammates. You're trying to keep them alive, right? And in every case, we're gonna have 2 strategists at least. Sometimes we'll have 3, right? Very rarely do you run single strategists, but it's possible. But when it comes to double strategist compositions, I always like to have a main healer and an off healer. And what that means in terms of target prioritization, what's up, Humble? Zavi said me, I shoot at everyone. Oh, I see you, Zavi, in the Twitch chat. Yeah, okay. I mean, well, you're not wrong to shoot at everyone, but there's a time and a place for that. But yeah, like I was saying about strategists, when it comes to strategists, the main healer, their priority should be the tanks, right? Those are going to be your healers that put out mass amounts of healing output. I think of Invis. I think of Luna. I think of maybe Cloak and Dagger. And yeah, I mean, Loki as well can fit that role. And so those are basically your main healers. Those are the ones that should be focused most times on the tank, right? And they're keeping up the heavier ones, the ones that need the burst healing and the mass amounts of pocket should be dedicated to the main healer. And these should be able to focus on the main healer at all times, right? That means if you're getting dove, their target should not be on the diver that is targeting them. In a good duo composition, your off healer is the one that should be constantly looking at the main healer and at the DPS. And that's kind of how that works. An off healer could be a rocket in the distance. An off healer could be an Ultron. An off healer could be, whoever else, basically. A White Fox. And so, of course, White Fox is a great example of that, where if you guys are getting dove, White Fox would be the answer to a diver. She can contest it to the point where when you bring the claws out, you're doing AoE healing. Your main healer should not have to turn around, should not have to sacrifice healing for your tanks, And the time that the off tank is able to pull back and report to you guys and help you guys peel, the off healer is already on that, working on that. And the main healer is still actively healing the team. That's really where the main priority, in my opinion, should be, right? Your main healer's constantly doing their job. The off healer's constantly scouting for the DPS. Maybe they're really good at burst heals, like an Atom, right? If the DPS is getting bursted down, they'll quickly bring them back up. And if you're getting dove, the Adam can soul bond and protect the main healer. So that's kind of my 2 cents. I don't know, Ben, what do you think? Hold on, wait, Zavi says something. It's mainly as tank. I have no idea sometimes what I'm doing or how to get back there and deal with the issue on the enemy team. So you're talking about the tank. Okay. We can get to that.
Dealing with the enemy in the back as the tank. So I think one thing that is a big part of this as well is just noticing your own team. Like you need to know, you actually have to register the capabilities of your own team as well as the capabilities of the other team. So you know that kind of comes with knowing certain characters' abilities, if they can run away and sleep you and mess you up, if they can charm you and obstruct you, if they're basically your hard counter, you know what I mean? So things like that really play into understanding, like, if this is a thing and I'm on Black Panther, he's not necessarily the first person I go at. However, when he's weak, you can definitely throw a spear. You know what I mean? Like when he's weak and he's trying to run away, you can definitely throw a spear and continue to try to help your team get at him. There's a bunch of different ways at it. Like for example, another one, there's a torch in the sky and you guys absolutely know he's actually cooking your team. Just because you're on a projectile character doesn't mean you can't help out. Like he's sitting against a wall and you're on Moon Knight, you can 100% onk that wall, kind of mess him up, make him have to move positions. There's different ways, different things. Just because you're on a certain character doesn't mean you can't contribute on that character. You can go for different roles. It goes for different roles, all roles, whatever character's doing certain things. It's different ways to look at it all around.
And I'm not gonna lie, it also depends on your comp and your enemy comp, who your priority should be. Because mind you, I've been playing a lot of Namor. I love Namor. I think a lot of people see him as strictly anti-dive and probably one of the best at it. But if the enemy team is not playing dive, I can still play Namor and get a ton of value by playing flank Namor. By playing a deep off angle, playing around a health pack, and maybe even diving, getting completely behind the enemy team. If I set up my 2 squids and I hit a secondary fire, that is a for sure kill on at least one support, and then that usually gets me momentum to kill the whole team. And flank Namor is extremely powerful. So in a composition where I don't have to worry about a diver on my backline, I can be in the enemy's backline. So that's where like priorities can change depending on your comp and the enemy comp. Something to keep in mind. It's not always, you don't always have to play the one character the same way. You guys know me for Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the character where, yes, I'm usually diving, but there's cases where I can play front to back Spider. I can pull somebody, like a tank, into my penny mines, and they could get deleted. You feel me? And so if I just want to keep pulling people into my team, I can do that with Spider-Man and get a ton of value. You feel me? So every character is not one-dimensional. As Avi said, I had a game today as Emma, and I figured out that Jeff was keeping them up, and the Mantis and Squirrel Girl were cleaning up anything that was cleaning up anything. And we also weren't moving together, and I even typed in the chat to let them know, to tell them. Okay, so you knew the problem was the Jeff sustaining. And you say you never talk, which is bad, but you're trying to communicate more. Yes. Honestly, Zavi, I can tell you're making an effort to communicate more. I'm hearing you more often with good comms, and I love that. I appreciate that, for sure. And it makes a difference. In terms of, if you recognize the problem, it's like a Jeff in the back sustaining the Mantis and the Squirrel Girl, and they're doing a bunch of damage, then it's good that you know that. And that's where it's like...
That's where it starts, is acknowledging what you know is keeping their entire thing together. Like, what is keeping everything going?
Mm-hmm.
How to address it.
There's a lot of ways.
You do not pile drive through 3 people to get to the Jeff. Like that's 100% something. Like at the same time, you can notice it. Your team is supposed to notice it because your team is supposed to be helping do it too. If everybody's just mindlessly shooting at stuff, then it won't get done. And if you're a melee character, it shouldn't start with you doing it. That's why dive characters exist. That's why poke characters that can focus down a lane and actually shoot at him exist. You can pressure him, but also that's your job right there in that moment, is making sure that the people that can deal with him can go do that. That's why you're making space or holding space.
Yeah, it's true.
And
And then
it's situational. You know, everything kind of depends.
there's a lot of ways to handle the problem. If you know a Jeff is a problem, for example, and you're tanking, you could take it upon yourself to swap to a dive tank, right? But like if you're playing Emma, you can't do much to a Jeff who's playing in the back lines, right? You just have to let him be. You really can't do anything. You're too slow. You don't
You
have
literally
mobility.
focus on everyone else, and you yell at everyone else like you're on
Yeah.
DPS and you're a dive character, and this Jeff is free.
Yeah, you
While
have to
you're-
delegate. I think delegating is a whole different topic we can talk about. That's just good comms. But like a lot of times, I think people need to tell people what to do more often. Like if there's a flyer and we only have one hit scan player, 100%. If my hit scan player is just farming ults on the tank and never acknowledging the Ultron in the back, I'm yelling at that hit scan player, like, because they need to be focusing the Ultron. That's their target priority, right? And so if there's a Jeff, you could always go dive, go Captain America, go Venom. BP is known for being a hard counter to Jeff. Namor does really well into Jeff as well. I love Namor. I mean, y'all know, anytime a Jeff ults and I'm Namor, I love it because I'm waiting for him to swallow me so I can dunk him with a whale. You know, if I set up my squids, he's dead. You know, I just secondary fire to his feet and he's cooked. So like, there's a lot of
Personally, I
options.
dash into the air and I start sending butterflies at them. That's how I see it.
For sure. There's a lot
That's
of
it.
ways. There's a lot of ways to skin the cat, so they say. But yeah, just to not go down to specifics too much, we talked about healers in terms of main healers and off healers, right? The main healers are on the tanks doing the most amount of healing. The off healers are always keeping an eye on the main healer and on the DPS. You feel me? There's times where you can share those responsibilities, but that's typically how it goes. That's why Luna is your main healer, and she has a team up with White Fox as an off healer, and it works really well. Next, we could talk about Vanguards, maybe, since we were already mentioning them. When it comes to Vanguards, I mean, depends on what their role is as well. We talked about dive tanks, right? Dive tanks want to stay in the enemy backlines, and they're also good at peeling for their backline. But those are their priorities. And when they're in the enemy's backline, it's not always to get a kill, but to force cooldowns. You want to force Luna to ult. You want to force, Loki lamps, so that now your DPS can dive in right after the lamps are gone. You want to force them to use their resources, their most valuable resources, and then you get out. You stay alive and get out. The problem comes is when you stay on target for too long. I find myself doing that, even like learning cap right now.
So do I.
Where I stay in the paint trying to get that kill on the support when I already forced them to use the Loki lamps. I should have just left, but I stayed in the paint for too long, instead of pulling back. And so it's part of it is knowing who your target is, and then part of it is knowing the timing of like how long to engage, how long to pull out. That's something to keep in mind. You said, hold on. I would go for the group that the Jeff was riding, and then the group and the Squirrel Girl, and some variation of that order. Okay, so you were shifting up your focus. I mean, if you're Emma, you have a lot of value in blocking off heals with your wall. So if you wanted to focus a Squirrel Girl or a Groot, you could block Jeff's water, with your shield, and then maybe choke slam them into your team. And if you call it out, your team should be able to focus fire and kill that person with you before the Jeff can break your wall. That's one way to go about it, right? But that requires communication. So yeah, that's another topic we can talk about, because we all need to get better at that. But yes, let's see. In terms of, we talked about dive tanks. So you think there's something else, Ben, outside of like the supports and forcing cooldowns that you feel is like priority for dive tanks? I mentioned they could be good for peeling as well, so I didn't talk about it much.
Yeah, that's a universal thing too, because like I'll just say it from my perspective. When I got very good at diving, or when I put a lot of time into diving, I realized one time, like, sometimes you ignore the other dive characters on the enemy team, or you just let them pass by and you try to go kill their supports. What happens when their dive is cracked and they kill both of yours and you're stuck back there? You know, you end up looking like you kind of bad. So eventually I learned that you actually are supposed to dip the other divers. Doesn't matter what character you're on, doesn't matter how you're doing it, you are supposed to like put damage on them or at least get them away from your healers. You know, that's part of like dives are supposed to peel in a sense too. Like you're supposed to challenge their angles so you can take it, to test their angles, you know.
For sure.
Then if they actually go in and you haven't gone in yet, yeah, they're a target that you also fight. Like if you see your healers fighting for their life, you don't just walk by to go start diving. Like it's part of your job too. It's not like you're supposed to say the tank's job to peel. You know, like everyone ends up saying something weird to try to like lack accountability for something they can never do.
Justify their actions or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I guess typically though, when it comes to tanks, there's a main tank, and if you're lucky, there's an off tank. So someone like Angela is an off tank. It's weird for Angela and Thor. They have a team up, but they're both like off tanks, and so it's not a very good team up because you're forcing two off tanks instead of having a main tank to hold the front line. But yeah, when you have off tanks, it is their priority to help you peel. So that's something to keep in mind, right? Emma is a hybrid between a main and an off tank, because you know main tanks typically have shields. They can sustain a lot of damage, so she's good for that. But also she doesn't have the best shield. She doesn't have the best sustain. She's also a brawler and really good at poke. She's a hybrid. Penny is for sure an off tank, but now she'll be getting a shield, so she will be a shield tank. She'll be another hybrid as of Friday. But you said I only know Penny and Emma well enough for comp. I started playing Hulk. He's fun. Yes, he is. But is he considered a dive? Yes and no. I consider him more of a brawler, but he does dive in a sense. Like he's jumping to your back to force a cooldown, make you panic, and then pulling out. But he cannot stay in there as much as a Captain America or another diver maybe. He's more of a brawler. But yeah, I see you're always looking to improve. W, love that. But yeah, so that's target priority for off tanks. Main tanks, I mean, priority is like sustaining the front line, right? So if we're talking about Mag, I think we should talk about Mag. He's a good case where like I don't really play him, but I understand his role. You wanna, hold the front line, hold the point, try to gain space as safely as possible. But you're almost never shooting at the other tank. You are constantly shooting and peppering his squishies, his backline. Anybody that's trying to put pressure on your team, you're pressuring them back. Main tanks are the tanks with shields. Yes, Zabi, pretty much. Even Dino is kind of a part of that when it comes to main tanks. He has a bubble shield. It's technically a shield, so he counts. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. But their job is to kind of like, hold the front and box with the other tanks a little bit, but you're not focusing on the other tank. Unless you're Dino. Dino is the only tank shredding tank, I guess, ideally. I mean, Thor, kind of. But Dino is the only one that does a lot of percent base damage, so he deals better into other tanks. But in general, a main tank like Mag and Strange, you're trying to get pressure off of your team by like if you see an Elsa kind of taking a slight off angle to try to shoot your healers, you hit them with Strange and you use your burst attack, and that's going to scare the Elsa to fall back or to die, and you keep playing that game, where you're trying to find
Magneto. That's the equivalent of the push when you got the purple rings,
for sure. And then Mag's target priority is different because he also looking to bubble his team, to save his team. So very defensive prioritization, where you're trying to keep an eye on your team at all times, or you're constantly looking at threats that you can nullify. If you know there's a maximum pulse, you want to block it with your shield. You want to know when to bubble yourself, when to bubble your teammate. So there's a lot of different there. There's a lot of nuance with Mag that's different. But yeah, I would say it's more or less the same for main tanks. Like, you never really want to focus the other main tanks unless you're the DPS or a tank shredder like Dino. You don't want to spend too much time just farming on the tanks.
Yeah. Which VOD game were you thinking about reviewing?
I'm not sure. You can, if you want to pick one out from customs, just find one, or we can start with one that Zavi has and then go from there. But to talk about duelists, their target prioritization depends a lot on what
Their skill set.
Yeah, like everyone's a little
and
different.
Also what the enemy team has too.
Yeah.
What they have going on.
Like for example, Wolverine and I would say Blade are tank shredders, right? Iron Fist as well. And even Wanda to a small degree. In the sense that they all do percent based damage. Or they have tools that help them sustain in fights versus tanks. Right? Like Blade doesn't do percent based damage, but lifesteal and being able to brawl the way he does lets him box with like a dino even really well. You said a losing game or a winning game for me. I can send it to you. I think losing games are better, honestly, to learn from. There's a lot more to take from a game that you lost. But yeah, so like you got your tank shredders, right? Certain characters like Wolverine are known for focusing the tanks because they're really good at that. But if the tanks are CC immune like Dino and Thing, you can still get value with Wolverine by grabbing anybody else on the team and bringing them into your team and then having your team focus fire. There's still a ton of value in that. So, you know, don't sleep on it. Like you don't have to play Wolverine just for tanks. You can play him for anybody. You just have to be good at adapting and communicating. But that would be like your priority.
I would say honestly, either the first custom game or the last one.
Okay. I'll pull it up in a
two
bit.
good ones.
Yeah, for sure. To quickly talk about flyers, I feel like flyers focus. Like I'm thinking about Iron Man and Torch and Storm also to a degree, but Storm is a little different. But Iron Man and Torch are really good at area denial, just doing a lot of damage overall. And they're really good at just peppering damage constantly on the whole team. But especially the healers, right? Like if I'm Iron Man, I'm just shooting the backline a ton. I can put some pressure on the front, but I'm focusing on the backline. Forcing them to play natural cover or to help each other patty cake to stay alive. Same with Torch. I've set up flame fields and then they're constantly burning. And then I can dive bomb in and they're dead or they're one. And I just have to finish the kill. So that's kind of priority as well. It's just controlling space with these guys. Yeah, hit scan priority is probably gonna be, you know, flyers for sure. But also like other squishies in general. Just focus squishies for the most part. You have certain.
I think we kind of.
I think we covered it. Yeah.
Teetering off a little. Yeah, I think we covered it.
All right, cool. I think we can stop it unless anybody has a question about that.
Any questions so far?
Anybody in the chat?
No. Omega said no. Okay, bet.
Got it. All right, so then we'll go into the history. You were talking about customs, the first one or the last one? So the first one was 13 minutes at Museum. The last one was Lower Manhattan. That was a almost 12-minute match. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. So this game we did have Thor. Okay, cool. Okay, I mean, yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Ben? Is there one you prefer?
I mean, each game tells a story, you know, so it's kind of just, it's really up to you. It's really up, like, it's on your screen, so it's really up to you.
I feel like Omega was tilted at this point already. Bro, trying out everything.
Like, we can talk, like, you know, there's that. The first game, you know, has Blaze in it, you feel me? So, it's like, Like you said, in the middle of the game, I'd say about the third game, Omega's tilted. First game, it has Blaze. So
I'd say we start with this one, the first one. See how this goes. Zavi, you said you sent the Emma game. I think this is the one that you need the most help with. Alright, we'll go with this game and then we can look at Zavi's and then we'll do this for like 30 minutes. So by 9 o'clock we should be basically wrapped up. We can probably just run some games from there on out. Let me see. So I want to control this independently. Alright. So we're starting off here. You see me sniping. I already got Blaze. As like I was telling you guys, but he is totally out of position. And me being hit scan, of course this is my prime target, right? It's off rip.
Yeah. Of course Suave's on a deep flank that is kind of Actually, no, y'all are attacking.
Yeah, we're on attack. You're over here on
Wait, then rewind. Hold on. Wait, what is he doing up there?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Your Iron Man had no reason.
Why is he in front of the spawn?
He probably didn't think anybody was gonna come out of this door, and so he thought he had a good advantage or a good point of view. And then it was like, nah, you're cooked, bro. Yeah, that was just like that was a rookie mistake. I feel like.
Yeah, rookie mistake. That happens.
And you see Ben looking for an opening on my healers. See, that's smart. Ben knows. Like he let the team walk by so he can get a visual on Zavi.
And this is embarrassing because I think Zavi probably yelled my name out.
Yeah. Yeah, you got called out.
I missed my dash up top, so I was like,
yeah, you got called out there. Over here,
the way it happened, I feel like Zavi had to have yelled my name.
Oh yeah, this was pretty cool. Hey, look. We got Lewis killing freaking Sideways, a rare occurrence. And Spider-Man's leveling up, I'll tell you. Okay, you already know. You see me focusing on the flyer, and then I called it out, and Lewis came in and finished the kill, which is perfect. That's how it should be played all the time. Because yes, I'm strong into flyers, but so is Spider-Man. And then for Spider-Man, if I can just shoot him one time, all he has to do is hit a web tracer, get over here, uppercut, and they're cooked. It's free.
Yep. So that right now, your team has good target priority. Just calling things out. Right now, we're getting rolled. And now we start to feel pressure again. Y'all guys chilling, holding the front so that people can just automatically walk up and touch the point. Start getting picks again. I don't see who's the first pick. Was it Sideways or was it?
You can go back in. Yeah, Thor just melting shit down, bro. And then Lewis also came in. Got a kill on the back of there. But,
so yeah.
Yeah, Thor was looking for you.
I'm trying to like keep him off. So I try to get that. Yeah, I got smoked trying to do that because I got caught in your kick.
Yeah, at that point, this was tough to say, but I feel like the enemy team should have came around the right side. Maybe, people always come in left side, but
it's very easy to hold people through there. I'm not gonna lie, it's very easy to hold people.
It is kind of easy. Nobody wants to play over here, but look, you have a health bag. You can play high ground if you are like a sniper like me or hit scan. You can set up a turret if you're Punisher. You have a visual, right? Like there's options over here. People just never really play this side, and it's not as tight, as it is over there. So that's something about positioning wise. In terms of target prioritization, what do we see here? Let me see. Let me get back a little bit. Okay. Okay. Right there, Wanda should not be focusing on the front line, especially on this store, right? That's just bad prioritization. You see, I should focus on me on my Widow. But yeah, that's not gonna work. That's the problem with Widow.
Especially with the state of our team. Look at the state of our team as he does that. He's the person furthest up.
Yeah.
We have one tank. Our one tank is back there.
Oh, you
can't bubble him, can't help.
You got one healer, no? I think you only have one healer, yeah. And it's just like, as Widow, you should never be playing this far up. Like your team's playing at a down angle. We have the high ground. So the best thing you can do is play high ground. Play up here, play this corner, play this quarter. But like, I don't really like playing down here, to be honest. I feel like it's always best to play high ground. So even like on this side over here, but as a widow or a Wanda, I mean, a witch, yeah, I get it. Like, you have to be close. Probably should have just went for a flank, like played up here, played around. But yeah,
played those stairs, played that room, you know.
Yeah, but you don't want to be focused on the tanks too much.
Omega's doing his best to hold things back.
Yeah. Oh wait, Ben got somebody. Hold on. Okay, I don't even know how Ben got there. I think you hit that deep flank. Oh, you came in over there. Yeah, you hit a flank, which is smart. You got Jiggly there, very clean. I noticed right then.
I traded.
I was waiting for Omega, bro. I was waiting for Omega to drop his shields.
Really, that's funny. So at this point, can we just check the scoreboard real quickly? Can you pull up the scoreboard? Yeah, at this point, I think the team needs to, like our team, my team in general, needs to start registering that something's not working. At this point, something needs to register that something's not working. For me, if I was looking at this game and I'm thinking in the moment, I would think, why does it feel like we can't play together?
True.
Like, why does it feel right now like we can't hold, like why we can't just stay together and play together? So then I'm starting to reflect. One thing I will start noticing, Suave's hitting his shots. And every time he's hitting shots, it's mainly on people that are overextended. And when I mean by overextended, most of the people he's ended up killing are in places they shouldn't be, you know? Like, that's kind of what that is.
Yeah.
Then secondly, this Thor is just alive. So I start trying to make sure there's pressure on him while trying to go get picks.
Yeah. And honestly, it's like Ben's making good plays, but he's not getting help also. Because like he's flanking, he's getting in the back line, he got a kill already on my healer. But it's just no one's there with him. Honestly, Wanda should be back there too. Look at Wanda in front of Omega. That's horrible positioning. Should be playing right side.
Sucking off somebody that's diamond form is taking reduced damage. Doing minimal damage to someone that's taking minimal damage, you know?
Thor's Awakened, just slamming damage up front. I mean, there's a lot of positioning errors here, right? Like, well, everyone's playing very much together instead of trying to split focus, playing over here maybe, playing right side maybe. You're just giving up a lot of space. But yeah, in terms of priority right here, if everybody did focus this door, that would help you guys a lot.
Be alive right now.
Yeah.
If he was the furthest person up.
Yeah, if y'all did focus him, that would have helped.
I think I remember this moment. I think I'm off to that side with him. Yeah, I think I remember this. See, this is when like I said, I registered that he's a threat, so I start trying to focus him.
Yeah. You got help there, which is clutch, right? Humble saw you cooking.
Like I'm kiting him. So look, rewind a little bit and then go a little closer POV. I want to point something out. I call this kiting. This is like, think of a kite. Like literally, you pull back and you're shooting at the same. Like, something's pulling back while you're going. It takes a little bit of work, and when it comes to aiming, it takes skill. But you see, I'm literally going for it, and then it gives me help. Sometimes in some situations, that will give you heals. Sometimes it gives you help. Like kiting is something you need to do. You need to move towards your team while doing stuff. Yeah,
the whole team recognized that, right? And Omega did the right thing. He was focusing on the front. The healers are here. They have everyone in sight. Humble, as the off tank in this situation with Emma, comes to help you because he recognizes you're baiting him into your team. You're kiting, and a good player is going to recognize that. Like, you're pulling him out of position to where he can't get helped. Right now, he took this corner. He's out of line of sight from his healers. No heals, so that's no man's land for him. And now he's cooked. And then up here, everyone's doing their thing. Like I was saying before.
I'm like, Thor's dead. Okay, what can we do? And
you see me
right now,
here.
I would say one good thing about this is Omega should not be this far back. We killed their Thor. He's dead. This is when Omega should be pushing up.
Yeah, Omega should be shooting right here at these two healers. Right?
Like this Omega right now is kind of nasty. Why are we letting them get this close?
He's focused on my brother when I guess really... I mean, it could have been Humble, but Humble's low on HP. But a big part of this is, my healers aren't feeling pressured enough to where they're just taking this corner for free. And that's why Ben's contesting now. But also
Because,
Ben,
you know,
Ben recognizes there's a lot of
that's
people.
not allowed.
Right.
Yes, that's not allowed. That's not allowed right now. So yeah. So yeah, I get about 3 picks right there.
Yeah. You see me creeping over here.
Yeah,
I'm also getting.
when did you get away? I swear I just.
Bro, this is so bad, bro. I high jumped over here and missed all my shots on sideways, bro. I'm so bad. Look at me. Bro, he should have been dead. That's like 3-4 shots I missed, and I'm like, all right, I think I just need to leave. Look at me. I'm missing. I'm like, all right, I'm trash. And then Humble comes over. I'm like, my fault, gang. Hold on, yeah. Literally, that was probably my worst play of the freaking game. Was how bad I folded there on all my shots. I had free reign on sideways. Jermaine was not looking, and I just missed. So, even so, you feel me? There's always something to work on. This guy knows ball. He's waiting. Let me speed it up a little bit, or at least I can move up. Omega out of position. Yeah. Not gonna lie, part of it was maybe him being out of position, but also like the team could have been up here with him, but they weren't.
Yeah, I agree.
So you have to call these things
Right
out.
now, the rest of the team is passive. And
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Jermaine kind of got assaulted. I'm seeing what's going on. Where am I?
You took off somewhere. Oh, you were still back there, yeah. You were living
yes,
in the
I
back.
start this fight for my life. I start this weird fight for my life against this guy because I feel like he's a problem and he needs to be dealt with. And this is when I realized that their team was different than ours. I'm dealing with this problem and he gets help. He gets help.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's like that out here.
Yeah.
Their team. Oh, okay.
I'm surprised he let you go though once he got Zabi's help. You know, but oh, actually, I remember him saying you're back there. Like, leave him alive. Keep him in the back.
Plasma?
Yeah, he's still trying to scrap with you though.
Yeah, he ended up getting it because he the attack I was gonna play off of, and he started throwing lightning at it.
Sure. Right here though, you see Jiggly keeping my brother alive, just trying to farm damage. And this is what I mean. This is like perfect. You see, the main healer,
Literally,
Jiggly is focused
their
on.
healers are pushed up to support people. Like, why the healer's literally behind the tank to deal damage and heal?
Yeah, exactly. The main healer, like Jiggly, especially when she's clapping, does pierce, heals, and pierce damage. So that's why she's all the way over here, because she's lining up her shots with the enemy team and with my brother. And like I said, the off healer should have a visual on the main healer, so that Jiggly doesn't need to stress about dying because Zavi's pocketing. And also, I'm applying pressure from a safe distance as well.
I am ready to put on a show.
Humble ulted, Jiggly ults back, keeps the team alive.
Now Omega's looking for a play. Does he get
Like I
it?
said, you want to ult? Fine, that's cool.
He did
I
get
got
the
something for
meatball.
that. I got something for that.
Humble's pushing.
Omega, we love him.
Yeah, Humble really came
Humble's out
all
here-
the way back. I don't
Humble's
know.
out here really contesting with Emerald. I can't. Like,
Diamond
you have
and
to respect
Snow.
it.
Yeah.
He's doing what he can with what he's on.
I should have had him, but I couldn't because then you folded me. Yeah, you got
You were
me.
in this guy. I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and get that.
Right, I almost had Humble though. You saw it was like one. Oh, then you took the opportunity to secure that kill. That was clean. I can't even be mad about that.
And then I got it, like, you know, that happened from through. That happened. Just looked at me in diamond form, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna take this trade.
Okay, I don't know what's
Who
going
is
on.
down there? What is happening down there?
That's it was, what's his name? Humble. There's a lot going on. Like, everyone's kind of split up here. You see back there? Humble playing really deep for some reason.
He's playing really deep. And you know, throughout all of this, you know, you've seen the Thor make plays. You've seen Gru make plays. You've seen Zavi make plays. You've seen Jiggly make plays. You've seen Suave make plays. Like on their team, you've seen very good teams. You've seen Lewis make plays. Even so, in our side, who can you really say has made plays? Like, You know what I mean? Humbles has made plays. He's denied space. Omega done made a play.
I mean, for sure,
I've
you
made a
were.
play.
Yeah, you got the most finals. You got the most damage. It seems like you're making most of the plays here for sure. I mean, Blaze is struggling for sure on Wanda. He probably should have swapped by now because he only has 2 finals. Very low damage output, 8 deaths. Yeah, I feel like Wanda's just not the play into this team. Although he probably was staying Wanda to deal with Lewis, and yet Lewis has only died once, which is pretty crazy. Lewis is not a free kill anymore. He's getting pretty good at it.
Even if you said he's trying to deal with Lewis, how many times have we watched this VOD right now and watched him just putting damage on like him?
He's focusing on the Thor though. That's the problem. The Thor is
trying to get his butt
whooped.
You know, like you don't do enough damage.
The god of thunder!
Got that.
And honestly, I think Sideways could not get Jiggy how he wants it. Or Jermaine couldn't get Jiggy how he wants it because look at
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
His presence is not being dealt with. I'm trying while trying to die, and there's just a lot of
Yeah. I remember this is where we started boxing, me and you.
Yeah, y'all watch this real quick. Look at this. Like, yo, rewind. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this guy.
Okay.
I come up here. I'm shooting at this Thor. I'm like, okay, they getting me weak. Let me leave.
No, watch out, cause I remember this.
I know it's a health pack.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
And I peeped him.
This health pack.
So you see me. Alright, bet.
Follows me. I go get this health pack and I see him. I said, okay, he's coming to get me. Let me break his camera. I broke his camera and I'm like, okay, let me line these shots up. And I get a plasma burst.
Bro, because I wanted to kick, right? I came in here trying to like jump on top of you to kick you. You see
that's
that?
Why
you
I needed to
me
break the camera because I knew that's what you wanted to go for. I'm like, I gotta make him waste
exactly.
that.
And I did the kick. It didn't register.
I am ready to
I was like, yeah.
Literally, the next shots were the combo. I'm like, I can make this. And I blew up. And so there's a lot going on point. You know, it's dancing. So this is something I want to point out too because this happened in real time. So right now we're making sure we touch point. You know, that's what's happening. We're making sure we touch point. We got Omega on point. We got Sideways in a weird position, to be honest, trying to make something happen. I think he's trying to make sure he keeps like line of sight on his tanks.
He's getting pressed.
And that just kind of left him exposed to you. Right now he's making it work though. Making it work.
He got me, but he got me. But you see, since I was focusing him, he had to pull out, and because he pulled out, the Dino died. You know, so he saved himself, which honestly I'm not mad about, and he killed me, so that's value. But at the same time, he lost somebody before that.
That's why line of sight is important, and you know that's why Jig is playing doing a certain type of way as well. Like she's lining everything up, so also, once you stop lining stuff up, things like that can happen.
Scorpion was not paying attention at all to what was going on. He should have been handling me, not Sideways.
For what reason did he use his bubble right there? I don't know. But he used it. Now he's inside of. Little team fight going on the point. I just feel like this was a little bit of a mess.
It was.
Died just then. Omega's trying to hold point. He steps off the point, and I was asking him why he stepped off. He said it was because he was about to die, which I completely understand.
For sure. I mean, that's the first round. I mean, we see a lot of cases where, you know, target priority was an issue, but there were moments where I feel like both sides had really good target priority. Like that second point was really hard for my team to capture. You guys held it for a long, long time. The healers had good line of sight. You know, like Ben was kiting the Thor, and the Thor died. Humble was seeing those opportunities to help out. But then there was, you know, anytime one team finds an opening and they secure a vital kill, that's what leads to the momentum, you know, into losing space. And it's usually the healer once the healer goes down. So you don't want to be too thirsty when prioritizing healers and trying to kill them. You want to play it safe, right? But that's why I went Widow as well, because I knew like we were gonna have Spider-Man putting pressure. So as long as I get one shot on somebody, Spider-Man can finish that kill. Or Spider-Man, if I see him cooking, I can help him secure the kill. And that's where I'm playing. I'm focusing the supports, but I'm doing it at a safe distance.
Yeah, so another thing I want to point out right here too is like I said, when you see the map or when you see the other team and you know your team, you need to take all of these things into account because the game, like the round before this, they didn't have it before. So when it comes to me being Psylocke or a dive character in general, I'm not gonna say I was getting all the value in the world, but I was allowed to at least try to go back there as much as I wanted, you know, while registering what everything's happening. Now the fact that they have a Namor, things are a little different, you know. The squids, they shoot the team and they shoot us. Yes, that's me trying to shoot you because it's me.
Yeah.
So yeah, now this door is did the same thing that I did at the beginning.
The
Just
Scorpion
randomly pop out of nowhere.
It was too late
and
to
start at
recognize.
the back.
Yeah, in terms of recognizing the threat, yeah, your team was too slow to realize this door was here.
Yep.
Like, the Scorpion should have been all over that with a shotgun. He should have been dead by now. And instead,
He's got the AR out at point blank range.
but now you guys, the beauty here is Psylocke is really good for this. Really good for contesting flankers. And so Ben was really quick to dash in and start trying to capitalize.
Yeah,
Dino takes a while. And I pulled up. In the middle of that mess, I came around that corner. I was like, all right, bet.
Yep.
I'm going to take advantage of that and dive the other support now. Yeah. Although I'm trash, I missed like 3 web shots. I go in. This damn freaking wall got in my way, or he would have been dead. I'm just saying.
At this point,
I got dipped by Jermaine. Yeah. I'm gonna blame that wall. It should have been broken. But whatever. At this point, there goes Thor again, just being a menace, applying pressure.
and I also put blame on myself at this point because like I said, I'm going out there and like I said, the map will look different now because they got squids. So I
Right.
cannot dive as much as I want. You see how low my health is trying to look there in front while
And
the
I'm
team
gonna-
tries to address the door.
Omega.
I have that target priority right now.
This right here, Omega should not have left you. Omega turned
He should
around
not.
because
not.
he probably heard about the Thor. But honestly, you had as a Punisher. Punisher should be able to solo that door. If not,
You
Ben
should.
pulls back. You feel me? But you should never, Omega, you should never have left here to deal with that door. One person is not worth your attention when you have all of this in the front line. And you need to be making space, right?
Yeah, so I exploded right there.
And now
And
you're
chomping, he eating a squid for dinner.
Yeah, that's
I love
not-
that, bro. I love that. That's
but,
valid.
but that's not his priority either. Like at the same time, I would not waste my time on that squid. It can shoot at me all it wants, but like sideways could have shot it.
That's like
you
that's
know?
legitimate. Like in this situation, I will 100% anything outside of shooting. Also, at this point, like I said, I realized that. So now, next time y'all see me come around the corner, I'm probably gonna start shooting F squads because I registered the name. So now we're back into a formation.
You see me making a move already.
Back ready to dive. Completely back there.
I missed my pull. I'm trash.
Now
I
DPS
pulled
are
out.
shooting at him.
He comes out.
And yeah, so yeah, let's go ahead and get this guy.
Yeah. See, I didn't coordinate with that Thor. Had I coordinated, we could have got a kill there. I didn't realize he was even with me, to be honest. I pulled it because I pulled in right side. I swung through here. He came out through the other side. But yeah, I'm trying to look. See who we're prioritizing here. Right now, Omega for sure should be prioritizing Emma. Dino, right? Because Dino does really well into tanks. This should be his priority: is grabbing Emma, bringing it to your team. You're focusing on the more, not really your target. I got the kill there. And I pulled off. Jermaine tried, but it's just too slow. The time to kill. Had he blinded me, he probably would have got it. Alright. Bro, I don't know. I don't really know what Scorpion was trying to do here, honestly, because shotgun would have been better to protect. I don't think he knows to use shotgun into tanks, to be honest. So I would
That has to
say
be the problem. That has to be.
And I think no one heard me and didn't pay attention. I believe I said something too. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Sideways, you would have said something. You talk, but I think Scorpion's a little too slow to respond to stuff or even be aware of stuff or know the right answer, the optimal play. I think that's part of it. It's probably a little bit of ignorance there in terms of how to properly play Punisher into tanks like this. Because I would have just been running shotgun for me and for Thor. I'm beating on him in his turret. I could care less.
Like when from my POV.
Oh, that was a nasty kill.
I'm not even gonna lie. From my POV, I'm looking at our team in real time, and I'm starting to kind of go insane in the membrane because, like you said, we have a Punisher. He's a Lord Punisher, by the way.
Yeah, beat that.
I'm just,
that's a dive.
You kind of sauced him, bro. Did you break his ankle while he's in the turret?
Side shit, bro.
Okay, twin. I see you. But yeah, I don't think he's playing the shotgun in situations where there is a close range threat on the team. And now we register the score, which is cool. I'm not mad at that. But, I will say personally, from a team perspective, he lived too long just now. Like, he lived too long just now.
Yeah. I mean, he's still here.
Back there while we focus the front.
Yeah.
He's still there. Yeah.
Right. The Thor's doing a lot to helping me just do whatever I want, really. You know, because I could have went for the healer first, but I saw Punisher on a turret. I'm gonna just beat on him, you know, because like the main threat here is Thor. I can't kill anybody at that point. Of course, you see, look at this. Just leaving me to do what I want. Everyone's looking at Thor, and both tanks ignored me as I clearly was here for a while. So I went right back for Sideways.
I'm not even gonna lie, I had that type card. I didn't know there was a I'm getting kills though. I kept the team back.
I remember this.
I'm getting value.
I was over here stalling. There's a Punisher here, and I saw Jermaine coming. Jermaine left because he thought Punisher could deal with me, and then I really wasn't worried about it.
With the amazing.
That's fine.
We got the point. I know that was kind of a waste, but I was like, I'm gonna just go ahead and stall it.
Spider-Man.
I mean, I guess. If you go and look from my POV, go look at my POV. Go back like 20 seconds to look at mine. Or not even my POV, like, you know, just that area. Like, you can still get a third person. I say before capturing.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man.
It's off to the right side. You guys played to the right where y'all left.
Talk about here.
Yeah, I think I gotta pick on the Thor and Punisher. And I think your healers were the people that were right there. So they want to come through. They want to come through. So I just popped that. I'm not like, you know, I think in my head I'm like, yeah, you guys don't want to step forward, so I just stand here. I just stand here.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man.
You know, that's just confirming. So like you said, Suave's back there. He's contesting everybody. But you know, he's doing good plays, and if there was someone touching the point, that gets value because now I have to stop doing it.
Yeah, I thought we had somebody
it's a good play,
touching.
It's a good play, you know.
I assumed somebody on my team like was on there touching point, so that kill on Jermaine would have been worth it because that's another healer down. You know?
Yeah. So at this point, I'm wondering what's going on. Everything's coming out of spawn. You know, everything's culture. Team fight on team fight. People start getting pissed off. I wonder how, I wonder why.
Behold the god of thunder!
See Sideways over there. He froze the heck out of me, almost killed me. Literally left me at 1, but I knew my health packs, so I was quick. And he was still challenging me. Sideways, instead of trying to challenge me, you probably should have went back to your team. I'm not gonna lie, because that led to your demise.
And heal people. We could have sat in spawn and healed.
I mean, you could have just played around your, like right here, you know, in this area, in front of your other healer. I came off to the side because I was just like, yeah. I'm pretty sure I have ult. No, 45. So I was like, I'm not gonna deal with that Punisher. Omega recognized me. I'm just playing my health back. Lou is crazy for us.
I am ready to put on a show.
So that's just good plays right there. The Thor noticed that the Punisher was not in the ultimate and exposed him. He definitely just swung sideways, something crazy.
Yeah. I like what you did here, though, Ben. We're all pretty split up right now. Thor and I are living in your team's backline, and then you're living in my backline with Omega. It seems like. And you went up there and challenged Andrew.
Because Punisher was living up there for like
just bumping damage. Yeah, you forced him to come back here. I'm surprised he took off like that, but hey, Andrew making plays, I guess. Not really. He tried. He stayed alive. I don't know. Oh, I died for sure. I messed up my swing. But you guys are cooking. I don't know. You guys aren't finding nobody.
The moment to push up, at this point, I think, Omega's playing Rogue like a true offense. He's really getting hurt. He's not really brawling, but he's really...
Yeah, Omega's trying to contest this guy here, which I respect. You're trying to get rid of the threat on this side, on the high ground, which is good. I think you guys should be trying to play more high ground. I think that's always valid.
Yeah, I respect and agree. Like I would say from the thing like this is a whole team fault because Omega's not wrong in what he's doing, but he's not getting any kills. Like the team is not recognizing him. Like the team, that's what the thing that happened. He should have been getting kills.
This guy should have died like 5 times, and I remember that. I was salty about that. But yeah. I mean, for sure, you could ask for, like, help at times. Like, yo, I'm going to play high ground. Somebody come with me or keep an eye on me. Or, like, can you get a healer on the high ground?
Someone said he's got a topic about crosshairs.
Crosshairs? Okay. Let me see. I didn't check the chat here. Hello, everyone. It's Job, I got a topic you can touch on to the thing with the crosshairs. Here, I'll let you talk. Let me put you in the... Oh, well, you said I know some people choose different crosses for some characters to help their aim better in a sense, or what feels smoother. That's valid. Here, I'm gonna invite you to speak. And to be honest, in my personal opinion, though, I don't think crosshairs matter all that much. Maybe for certain characters, but I personally don't spend much time at all, like with that.
Yeah, I really think it's preference.
Yeah, I
there's
just
people
feel
out
like
here
it's a
that play
common
with
problem.
the dot. I think like some people literally play with the dot, and some people play with no crosshair. I think it's really preference.
Yeah, to me personally, I don't feel like it's gonna win you games. A lot of it is aesthetics. Maybe it helps you aim.
With the amazing Spider-Man.
But like,
I
let me
just
tell
feel
you.
like sometimes depending, especially like what stages and whatnot, people tend to use like colored crosshairs and stuff that might help them see better. And for me, it's just the whole thing. You have people who have like these big ass crosshairs and whatnot, and I'm just like, I don't know how I gotta do it. I feel like the ones that tend to focus on precision, especially for scan characters, is what tends to work the best because whatever your eye is seeing and what's following when the crosshair moves, it's where it's going to help you with your targeting. That's where it also falls into target prioritization. Technically, you really don't need to change your crosshair, but it is good to always keep an eye on the movement, not just of your character, but where your crosshair lands, because it also helps you decide decisive blows, especially for characters who benefit off of stuns, freezes, anything that basically CC.
Yeah, I will say that some people though honestly don't need it. Like I know there was a Hella once that we went against who had no crosshair, and she was hitting like all her shots. For sure, it was on PC, but some people do really well with no crosshair at all because it forces you to almost just stop relying on the crosshair and just kind of like build a natural sense as to like what aim should feel like.
Put on a show.
So that's also something you could practice for your aim training.
True.
So here we see Ben in the backline per usual. Trying to cook.
I'm currently practicing with Luna right now in the practice range. I decided to lower my aim assist window to like 25 instead of 35.
Because right now everything looks weird because honestly Omega's doing good things, but I don't think he's the right character for the job he's trying to do. That's why I can feel very weird because he's taking great off angles, but he's also, our healers aren't seeing him take these angles to do what he's doing, so they're not healing him as he does it. That's one thing that's happening. Our team is being very discombobulated because right now you guys are putting out a lot of damage, it feels like.
Yeah.
And we don't have a shield tank.
For sure.
So these men is on Groot putting up walls, which isn't wrong. That's how he's mitigating it. But he felt like you said, went Punisher against Groot. So, tough time, uphill battle.
Yeah.
And our second tank in that situation isn't really playing down the main line, so he's absorbing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And that's why Omega feels like he's not getting heals in the moment.
Yeah.
So positioning matters a little bit, and we weren't focusing the right targets together as a team. A lot of that is like a situation where, if you look at everybody's damage numbers, you can just tell, like our tanks have 11,000, 13,000, I'm at 17,000, Blaze is at 9,000. It's just kind of a weird situation for that because Jigglypuff is on healer and she has 11,000. Zavi has 9,000. Y'all team, Lewis has 18,000, you got 15. Drew has 22, Thor has 18. It's like, it's a damage output diff.
I mean, there's a couple things there for sure. I mean, part of it though too is like, it's a lot of the target prioritization. I feel like comes down to DPS players and tank players, where you have to change targets quite often depending on the situation at hand. For healers, I think they have it the easiest, where, like I said, a main healer just focuses on the tanks. The off healer focuses on the squishies and the main healer. So it's like
you kill people that come near you. That's really what that is.
You can also be more of a damage dealer. Like off healers tend to do more damage. So that's really your priority the whole time through as a strategist. So they have a little bit easier there in terms of who to focus. Once you're on tank, now it's like, okay, here and this at the end here, Humble Vitz is on Groot. He's the main tank. Right? He's holding the front line and just playing that game of push and pull. But he's holding the main lane. Omega as Rogue plays the off angles to help either dive or should be helping peel and deal with other threats. So that's kind of how that goes. I feel like Scorpion was struggling though most of this game with his prioritization, and that's part of what held y'all back, right? Like, sure, he got 6 finals. That's only part of the story. I mean, he was struggling with damage output. He got less damage than the tanks and then Salty, and so it's like priority seems to be the issue. He was spending a lot of times with Wanda just focusing the tank instead of. I don't think I ever saw him actually go for a dive, like to really hit the backline or to help you on sidelock secure kills. So it's kind of weird. He also wasn't playing anti-dive into Spider-Man very much. He was more focused on the Thor, who, yes, was a problem, but one Wanda cannot diff a Thor. It's not going to happen. Most cases. Not a champion Thor. So yeah, overall, I mean, I hope there was a lot you could learn there. I think that covers most of that. We can go over Zavi's gameplay real quick. We don't have to spend too much time on it. At least here we got to see everyone's plays a little bit, and that's what matters most. Zavi, I don't see your match. I just see 2313 in the chat. I'm gonna invite you guys to speak as well. Everybody can join if y'all want. Any commentary, whatever.
All right.
What's up, Omega? What do you think? Any questions?
Yo, I think you no question. Everything you're talking about, I was doing. I was doing wrong. Like a lot of that.
Don't just say wrong, bro. There was things you were doing right too, twin.
Yeah,
I know I was doing stuff right. Like I was doing some things right. I know sometimes, but like one thing I really was thinking about is listen here. So I was really thinking about the squids and Dora while I was attacking those. It was because like I feared for my team to the point where I was just like, they're so weak. I need to protect them from the smallest of things. Like if Dora comes to that back line, I felt like in my heart I was just like, they're most likely gonna die. So better come back there. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't trust them to take care of the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's fair.
And not to mention Scorpion, you already, he could have shotgunned him, but I already knew like that's not gonna happen.
Right.
So I had to do something. And then Humble was just up there. He was having to keep the front line in check, but I also had to help that door out. There's a lot of crap, and then you got the squids also there, and I already knew like the second the squids will just lock onto one of my DPS, you's probably gonna die. Because you guys think about it this way, you guys are putting out so much damage to the point where they can only really heal the tanks that well, and not to mention Scorpion. he takes a lot of damage because he was getting healed a lot. So a lot of the healing was just going to us three. Couldn't really go to Ben, you know. And when
especially not, you know, I can play off my health packs at least for a certain degree. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
but
I
when
wasn't out there looking for heals.
Yeah.
I think honestly, if I think anything, I think there's moments where when you're playing those angles and contesting people, I think you should have got more help. You know, if anything, like I think the correlation between our tanks and like I don't like saying it like that. I just like we said, I would say main problem. I would say Scorpion being the other damage dealer's target priority. It felt like he wasn't helping or assisting in, you know, much because like if we look at it, Humble tries to do certain things. I try to do certain things. You try to do certain things, but we don't really see how he helps contribute. Where all three of us are on decent solo missions in a sense, you know, where if he was there to help or assist any of us, it was like those things would have probably flourished even more and led to more things, you know what I mean? So
I perfectly understand.
it's like, you know, I could say you're out of position, but honestly what you did, yeah, someone left at half health, but if they just got a ricochet beam from Cyclops, they're probably dead, you know? So it's yeah, you being out of position leads to someone dying, but or leading to Humble taking a lot of damage and dying, but at the same time it could, if stuff is all helping out together, it could go out better.
You know,
Yeah, Zavi, I don't know what's going on with this code. I tried to send you a replay, like this replay, and it's also being really weird in terms of sharing. So might have to do yours another time off stream. You can still do it, just a different time. But to talk on Omega real quick, I do think Omega is making a lot of plays, or trying to make plays that were right in the moment. But
Yeah,
you
I
needed
agree.
help though. It's the thing. You need to tell your team, like, yo, I'm trying to maybe handle this Thor. He's the main problem. Like, can I get a healer with me, or can I get a DPS with me, or like, can we just play the high ground? Because like there was a moment where Omega was the only one on the high ground, and that's where the Thor was. So that was the right idea, but you needed somebody with you, and that would have changed that fight, the course of that fight. You know, so I think that's a big
agree.
part of it, where you have the right ideas, but you can't do everything by yourself, and you can't expect the team to follow you. You need to let them know what you're trying to do as you're doing
I have
it.
that problem, like don't worry,
Yeah, well,
I got that problem too.
yeah, one major problem that I really felt bad about was Scorpion. I don't know if he was in the chat or it wasn't in the chat, but I think the whole entire game he said anything.
Yeah.
So I
Things are
agree.
quiet.
So just from that, like I think communication should be another topic one time, because I was actively trying to make communication a thing on our team. Like, you know, I'm trying to get people talking. I'm hearing Sideways talk about Thor. I'm hearing Jermaine talk about Thor. I'm hearing them talk about you. I'm hearing Omega basically say that there's 5 problems on the table. Like, you know, he's basically saying, oh my God, I don't, you know, this is a disaster. This is a disaster. Like that's what that man sounded like in the moment. Humble basically trying to address problems as well. I'm trying to get Scorpion to talk because I'm like, tap in, bro. What's going on? Like what you dealing with? But he didn't really talk in a way like he's addressing problems or that he's seeing problems. He's just like, left this Spider-Man weak. Or, you know, like that's his comments, you know. So even with all the level of problems, he didn't talk in a way like these problems, like he's addressing any or that they're serious. One time I asked him how he was doing or what's going on, he started talking about his stream. At that point, I just kind of was like, okay, yeah, GG's.
I see. Yeah, I don't think he was fully locked in, you know, and like at the end of the day, it's cool. It is what it is.
No, and I wasn't locked in
It's chill
either.
customs. It's chill customs. So I was just like, you know what, that's, you know.
He was just there for the vibes, I feel like, you know, and it's cool. But he was streaming. I don't know, and he was just doing his own thing.
No, I'm not. Okay. One more thing.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
One more thing. All I have to say is during those customs, I really wasn't locked in at the moment. Like I had to admit that, because one major thing I've noticed in my gameplay when I was watching it, I wasn't really thinking. Like whoever was in front of me, I was kind of just focusing on them. Sometimes I would go like have good target priority and go at this person. Yo, this healer's low, and I would get the kill. But then 2 seconds later, I'm focusing a freaking tank, while really the backline's pretty weak and I could have died there. You know what I'm saying? I could have been diving on rope. And the thing is, multiple times I could have killed the whole entire backline if I wanted to, but I was more focused on dubious nut than I was them. Because, truth be told, that backline, it kind of was weak. It kind of was weak. It was decently weak. Like, with enough of pressure, they could have just instantly followed over. Because of me, I couldn't really do that. And Ben, he was kind of struggling out there because he was basically solo guy. I would die once or twice, but he would you know what I'm saying?
Oh dear. All right.
Ben was having to do everything.
Yeah. Ben was making plays, yeah, but I could tell you guys were struggling. Part of it was one player wasn't communicating, and I mean overall more.
What am I
communication.
looking at right now? Who is Zion slammed you?
Yeah, this is
and
crazy.
why did he sell you like that?
That is a hard.
Why did he sell you like that?
3,000 damage,
Christ.
6% accuracy. I think he was selling for. Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't take this game too seriously, Zavi, because this guy clearly was trolling or throwing off rip is what it's.
Yeah, I don't care how hard you try. You're not winning with that.
We're talking 12-minute match almost, and bro couldn't get a single kill in. Like that. Most deaths in the lobby.
That is 6 people trying on the other team, Zabi. That is 6 people trying, and one guy just throwing y'all game. Like, you have to try extra hard to even get where y'all got with this in the first place.
Yeah, I don't think this one was in the cards for you, Zavi. He said, I know, LOL. I thought I did good.
Guan sent somebody. He sent him. That was that one for that one.
I mean, I can tell you did good, Zavi. You got most damage blocked. You're getting kills. Good blocks. I mean, you died more than you should have. So probably with you, there were some positioning things that you could have done better. But yeah, it's hard to take this one seriously when you clearly have one guy who's just sticking out.
2 and 13.
It was a 5v6.
0 final hits.
It was a 5v6, yeah. If we look at this one's on heals, a lot better.
10k damage.
I remember her talking about this one. She was talking about Luna was not looking out for her.
Your death count is your death count's impressive though. You're always good at staying alive really well. When you're on support, you die the least out of the whole lobby. That's great. Really good healing.
Bro, I think I figured out why. I think I've seen firsthand why. And it's okay because it does lead to dubs. But I think I figured it out. I think I've seen it in action.
Okay, open this up real quick. I don't want to spend too much time on this one. We'll just see how you were doing. It might be a little bit harder to say though because you're on support. We know what your role tends to be. Alright, you should be the main healer here, so you're focusing. You shouldn't necessarily be focusing on Spider-Man. It should be your off healer, but it's a white fox, so I can understand here. It's a little harder to say. But yeah, typically the off healer should be focusing on you, so it's weird to me that in this case you're the one furthest back, but it can work at the same time. You guys just have to kind of delegate that. Yeah.
Love y'all. Sorry.
Yeah. I was saying, you gotta bounce. You gotta bounce. No, beg you.
Yeah, of course.
I'm doing some training right now. I'm trying to take a little bit of aim assist off of Luna, if it makes sense. Like the aim assist window, I usually keep it at 35. Like I don't use a lot of aim assist, but I feel like I don't need all of it, if it makes sense. Like I'm just trying to get better at aiming more consistently than I already am.
Yeah, I believe in you. You're really pretty good, but yeah, working on things like aim training is always good, but it's not the end all be all, right? Like,
I usually do it regularly.
That's why today we're talking about target prioritization, because that is very, very much important. It can be a bigger, I guess, factor in terms of winning, is who's getting killed first.
Let me tap in, Joy Boy. I need someone to monitor my aim assist.
Speaking of training, I've also been in the practice range. I've been in labs. I've been trying out Daredevil. I know he's really good against fires and I do those combos. We're just trying to get both. I can defeat anybody on solid. I can defeat Thor. But but the second it's kind of flying, I kind of struggle. Thing is, with flying, whenever you're flying people on Daredevil, the second you miss one shot, you can't regain that fury. You just can't quit. You need to really save your fury.
You're talking about Daredevil and the Flyers?
Yeah, Daredevil flies. I've seen a bunch of people like they be killed. They be killed.
I mean, I feel like you can kill one, right? But if there's multiple Flyers, like you're not really, you're not suited for that. That's where it's like, if there's a Justin Ultron, that's cool, but if there's an Angela as well, you know, or an Iron Man, you know, it's like that's kind of tough for Daredevil. Can only do so much, you know. So he's not the best answer for that problem.
Like, I won't be able to deal with those freaking human torches. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna have the same problem we had last time.
Zavi, here you probably should have thrown your bubble at your team if they just got caught up, or was that your? Oh, that's your Angela. Never mind. You're good. That was a good one. Okay, overall, I mean, I feel like Zavi, you do this really well, so there's not much to necessarily take from me. Like, you threw that bubble in there to try to help, which is good. But yeah, just pulling out at this point, that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like when it comes to strategists, it's a little more easy when we're focusing on target priority. I don't think you need that bubble there. Now you're without it and they're pushing up top. But your bubbles you should be using selfishly most of the time, in my opinion, as Cloak and Dagger. Use that for yourself. When you get dove or whatever, you're going to need that for yourself. Or you can get close to your team and heal everybody. But like I tried to use it a little more sparingly. Like I would have used my bubble there to maybe save Fox and walk into it.
My card slipped.
Man, Zavi, you are playing a little too far out, right? Your team's fighting on cart and you're like around this back corner. You should have a visual of everyone around this corner, right? So maybe just hug this corner right here and you can like go in and out, poke in and out. But here, you're 2 corners away. You're a little too far. So that is one thing I would say. You're making it hard to like keep your team out. You did a good here though. You walked up. Nice. I understand part of it is probably, you know, because they have this guy flanking over here. You don't know who's a threat. You're trying to keep an eye on everybody. You're trying to remember to move up. Yeah. Yeah, you play very safe, Zavi. Like, that's why you say a lot so much, though. Like, your Jeff doesn't die, your cloak doesn't die. But you are playing a little too far out at times to where you can't really react in time. Like, if you wanted to use your healing sheet with Dagger, you need to be closer, right? Like, it takes time to travel. So if you're too far out, you won't be able to make those clutch saves. Right here, though, Zavi, I would have been focusing either that Cloak and Dagger or the Spider-Man to kill them. I mean, probably the Cloak and Dagger because your Angela's already on them. Had you blinded the C&D, they could have been dead, potentially. So you're a very passive player. It's a Jeff habit. I understand. Well, you know, there's different ways to play, and there's a time for it. You know, you don't need to be aggressive all the time, right? Sometimes players like me or other dive players like Omega get carried away with being too aggressive. You know, there is a time to be more passive, especially as a strategist, and there's times to be aggressive. So it's really is finding, like, riding that middle line.
Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah. Like, as a strategist, you do have to be aggressive at times, but it's not always like that. Unless you pick the strategist meant for that. Like, an Atom should be doing damage because he gets more healing. Mantis should be aggressive to get more healing. And Ultron. Yeah, Zavi's doing a good job here, just staying alive, staying on the cart. Just constantly scanning. I don't know.
Spiders should have passed, let me go see.
Yeah, I guess Spiders in the back.
I'm 5 minutes past the extended has already just
okay. This is good, Zavi. This is good. You pulling out, nice. and yeah, nothing you could have done there. You played this pretty well, but I would have started pulling out sooner once I realized, like, yo, the whole team is here, and it's just me and Iron Fist right now. Like, you know, just tell them to back up or start pulling out.
Wait.
You can use the ping for fallback.
I give it to you all the time.
When I'm playing with, like, randoms,
No hunting.
and I'm not talking, I'll just spam the pings. I'm like, fall back. Because, yeah, you guys were already down in numbers. And, okay, these two just went in diving. I don't think this is worth it. They're by themselves with no healer. Yeah, Iron Fist died for it. Cross forward. Okay, Zombie playing high ground. That's me. Maybe a little too far out, but you know, I'm not mad about it because.
Oh shit, that's on me.
Well, Zombie, you're about to have ult, so I would have walked up because you have ult, and I would have pushed up here. Nice. Oh, I do think Zavi, you should have covered the point here. You went up twice, and I would have then turned left and then came back to make like a big rectangle around the point. You just kept going forward. I don't think that was the best route for you to take there, because now they're not taking damage on the point. I would have tried to expose the point so that it shreds everybody.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Dang, you guys lost that one.
I usually practice without my snowflake sometimes. I know it's usually optimal, but I'd rather not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that lost you the game, but I think had you put your ult around the point, you would have been in a better position to deal with these other threats. But what kills you here exactly? Okay, I see Zavi. I see Zavi, you're still cooking. Oh, the Fox. Okay, Fox smash with you.
Into this new team system,
but yeah, overall you did well. Just little things. Little things. But I'm gonna go ahead and pause it here, end it for in terms of the training. We can keep talking more later. I think right now would be a good time for us just to play and try to actually communicate more and coach each other as we play.
Hold on, if you will entertain me on something, Joy Boy, I'm gonna set up like this little training thing in the practice range real quick. I want you to tell me so far what you might think of the new
I gotta use
before I put it into practice and quick play.
That's cool, but give me a couple minutes. I gotta go use the restroom, so that's why I was gonna end it too. So I'm gonna end my stream here for